the words are so true. You can't, rewrite truth. Truth is truth, and he spoke it. But yeah, I mean, but you don't see that, with the Mockingbird media. It is a Mockingbird level event that is happening right now.
Absolutely. When you go into that, the Monopoly or the Mockingbird, sorry, those words get combined. Monopoly media and Mockingbird media, they are using some hardcore psychological techniques that are manipulating people's thoughts. And if I start going down this route, some people just start laughing and be like, yeah, right, they're not doing that. And it's like, well, maybe they're not who's reading it, but the people that are writing it for these media people are doing that, and it really is doing something to the country and the world, but people are waking up from their sleep. They are seeing the lies that are being told to them.
And what's really great is that it's happening in unison, that we're just like Texas, people are coming together, black, white, Hispanic, when we get past the whole looking at people as black people or white people or, and just calling them people.
My gosh, the human race.
Yeah, absolutely. We were all created, and it's who are we to hate somebody else? Now on the same page though, it's content of character. That's how we as people, I think, really should judge people. I think King was right when he said that, and you have to look at the character of the World War II zombies out there. You put a
I don't
microphone.
think they have character.
That's it. You have them. You put a microphone in front of them, and they immediately have nothing to say. They don't. And I mean, it is really surreal that they literally.
Well, hopefully that's waking everybody up. Yeah, it's just like, here's your mic. Please say something. Answer a question or two, or what do you think about the reason why you're out here in this protest? And they don't know what to say or can't say it. But I like today what I've been seeing on InfoWars. Owen Schroyer, one of the InfoWars correspondents, he goes out there, as well as Millie Weaver. They go out there and talk to these people out in these crowds, and they go by the thousands of people are out there with these this hate in their hearts. And they go out there and ask them, what's on your mind? Why do you have this hate? And literally they can't talk. It's unbelievable.
Do you think it's hate, Zach, or do you think that it's because they don't really have a dog in the fight? The only thing they're there for, they're mercenaries. Do you think they...
I mean, that's a good question right there. I didn't think like that. I was really mainly thinking, like, when this Charlottesville thing was going on a couple weeks back, we started really finding on Craigslist everywhere that they needed these haters. It was like stop Trump, or be a Trump hater or something like that. And then you could get paid like $25 an hour to go act a fool in the street, and then they'd bail you out of jail and stuff. I almost didn't believe that. I was like, I'm not into conspiracies, but when they started saying that, I was like, I can't believe that. And I started typing in different cities all over the place where these protests were happening. And I really could have gotten a job. I could have got paid $650, a week to do this. So that's a good question. I kept on thinking it was money. Everybody does anything for money, but then, like you said, they may not have a dog in the fight.
Yeah.
So
I'd
be upset too.
Are you a Star Wars fan?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So the Mandalorians, when they would go to fight, they never really had a They didn't really have a cause. Their cause was money. They would fight each other if the money was right. And I think I read a lot of the novels, and something it kind of reminds me of these people. A pint of ale, a pint of blood buys men without name. We don't care who wins your war. We don't want your fame. They don't have anything invested in America. because they've been taught and they've been told and they've been pampered, and their family has been destroyed. They're just products. They're just products of this machine, in my opinion.
And that's true too. And then maybe the other thing is if my generation started getting plugged into the matrix at an earlier rate, like I was right at that limit, to whereas working with technology, either I got plugged in or I didn't. I didn't have a phone growing up, but then now this younger generation is starting to grab it. So I actually experienced a fight when I was younger, or going out with my family, or eating a good dinner with my family, or going to the movie theater. Like, this younger generation might not have experienced all this stuff, so they think that this is actually living life or something like that.
Well,
yeah.
I think it's even deeper. I don't know if you, I sent you some links and stuff. I don't know if you saw an episode I did a few back. It's called the Phantom Socialist Menace, and that was the one before that was Fake News at the Bechtel Summit. And I want to go down this path, because once the people who are listening, wherever you're at, I want you to take a close look locally at some of the people who are in your area. But here's what happened. The president came to my hometown, and we're a very small, I don't know how big Paris is, but we're a very small town here in Mount Hope, but we're known as the gateway to the Bechtel Summit. And the president gave his speech. I know that you saw the headlines about how the Boy Scouts denounced Trump and blah blah blah. I'm telling you.
Oh my gosh, yes, I remember that.
I'm telling you, and there's 40,000 witnesses that it was a fantastic experience. So,
okay.
I mean, I wasn't there, but, but from what I hear and from what I actually, from people that were there, it was awesome.
Yeah.
He did not disappoint. But, the bigger issue though is that a buddy of mine, his dad works for the summit. So we were talking about this and that, and he texted me and said, they're clearing off a spot for protesters. And I was like, why would you protest him coming to, why would you start that at a Boy Scout jamboree? What do we really need
what
that?
Is your problem?
But the path that the president was taking, I was driving, I literally live maybe 30 seconds from the back end of the Bechtel Summit. And,
oh, cool.
So the path that I was driving there, the road that I was driving down, I ran across a bunch of Trump haters, a bunch of impeach Trump,
wow.
Right there on the side of the road, healthcare for America Now. I don't know if you've recognized that name, but it was a rabbit hole that just kept going and going and going, and it was all staged. It was all phony. And, and here's the point I'm getting to with that is that, when I got out of my car, and it's all on video, I have these trolls on video.
Wow.
They are.
Yeah, I bet.
I get out, and they're saying, healthcare is a human right, not just for the rich and white. So they're race baiting. So immediately I think, well, I can smell Saul Alinsky from the car, and so I start walking up there, and I catch it all on video. Long story short, I look at this one lady who comes up, and I start talking to the crowd, and I say, well, how many of you are actually from West Virginia? Nobody had their faces covered or anything. I said, how many of you are from West Virginia? And this lady steps up and she says, we're all from West Virginia, and we want affordable health care or something. And so turns out she was a paid political activist. I have her on video saying that nobody there was paid. I call and I literally rip a political action group here in West Virginia. I mean, it's all on audio, but I absolutely
good for you, man.
Laid them open. But the point I'm getting at is that there is if you look deep enough in your own local, and it starts at home. Who can forget Big Sis Janet Reno, and if you see something, say something, and What is it? Hometown or Homeland Security starts with hometown security or something like that. So
I swear, man, all that stuff.
Look locally,
yes,
and you will find the source of the Trump hate. And look in liberal NAACP, and the same people yelling in my neighborhood, healthcare is a human right, not just for the rich and white. And I asked them, I said, look, and I did. I lost my healthcare this year. I literally could drive a Suburban cheaper than I could, a nice Suburban, cheaper than I can afford than I can buy healthcare right now.
That's unbelievable. It sounds almost, not unreal,
It is unreal.
But it is. A lot of people can actually say that nowadays, and it's because Obamacare and Mr. McCain, I'm not even calling him a senator. He isn't one of them. No.
Well, I mean, and the thing is, Zach, with that, and I rant on Obamacare. I hate Obamacare, but
yeah, I was about to say, let's not go into that.
It's crazy. But he just, as a car, in the profession, I literally have to be licensed so that I don't do these things. But in the car business, if I were to set a customer down and say, here's your contract, but I'm not gonna let you read it until you sign this bottom line here. You have to sign it before you can know what's in it. You have
that would not work in the real world.
It's totally illegal. You can't do that. But that's what they did to the American people. And I'm going to get off that. But that's where the source of the Trump hate, I think, begins. And
like you said, start local. Everybody, just start asking your neighbors, not necessarily just going door to door, but start finding out what is everybody's problem. Is it money, or do they not have a dog in the fight? Do they truly, honestly hate him, or are they staring at that, that boob tube too long? That propaganda is just eating them alive.
If you're on Facebook, you can follow a rabbit hole from friend to friend to friend and see, you can see the trend, you can see the pattern, you can see the people who are organizers. And what's really crazy, and to show that these people don't really care about anything, it's not about, they don't have a cause in mind other than anarchy, other than promoting the deep state Trump hate, the globalist Trump hate, because if there weren't all this Trump hate going on, and if the Mockingbird media wasn't, constantly shoving that down our throat, then maybe we could talk about, something, I don't know, like pedophilia. Maybe we could talk about things like selling national secrets, all of that.
Yeah, there's a whole list. If we could get past all of this, and I think that's what's really, I think it's just been the last few days with Nancy Pelosi and a handful of other people that have come out and started denouncing the Antifa. I never expected that. That's only been, yes, it's been 3 weeks or whatever, but I never expected anybody to start saying, hey, we need to stop this, because we're not talking about Russia, North Korea was off the map, and then it was Antifa, then it was race baiting, now it goes back to North Korea. We'll get back to you, North Korea. Don't worry about it. We have a hurricane right now we got to take care of, but we'll get back to you. Yeah. I mean, he's got a full plate right now.
Well, let me ask you this. In the bigger picture, with the anarchists, you see a lot of them on TV, and they look like there's thousands and thousands of them, and sometimes there are when they all gather. But
absolutely. But
in the grand scheme of things, when I see that, do you know how I ground myself? I think of the electorate map, the electoral college map, and how red this entire country is. And
absolutely. That was crazy when I seen that.
And there are still, 1,000 to 1 good people out there. When you see these haters, for every one hater you see, there's going to be 1,000 good people out there who aren't.
I think so.
I believe that, man. I have to believe that, Zach. I really do.
Well, we've been seeing it here lately. I mean, I really think it was amazing that Charlottesville, it was a bad scenario, but it was good timing so that they could play their cards on all this negative stuff for a couple weeks. But then what happened 2 weeks ago or last week? It was the eclipse. Everybody from all these states, from all these different cultures, ethnics, and countries from all around the world came down this whole path down the entire United States to